Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Real Talk with Delphine. Today, I feel really lucky and kind of fancy, I have to say. I am sitting here with Wendy Campbell at the Montrose Day Spa on their new patio area. So, Wendy, cheers!
Cheers. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. And this has no alcohol. These are these little things. Wendy, why don't you tell me a little bit about what we're drinking?
So this is the Hayo mocktail. So it's full of antioxidants, and it is for everybody that is wanting that just relaxation without any alcohol tied to the drink or tied to their system. So we do have a full bar at the Montrose Day Spa with signature cocktails, but we have a lot of clients, myself included, that like to middle of the afternoon have a drink that just kind of chill out and relax and not have alcohol in it. So that there's several different flavors, and they're great. They're great with frozen fruit in them, and just make it nice and enjoyable and refreshing.
Wendy was just telling me about putting frozen grapes in it as your ice. What a cool idea is that? I love that idea.
Yeah, frozen raspberries, frozen grapes, blackberries, anything, any frozen fruit is good. It absorbs in, but it doesn't water it down. So yeah, it's a great way to do it.
It is a great way to do it. So Wendy, tell me a little bit more about yourself and how did you end up in Montrose opening a spa?
So I actually moved to Montrose about 5.5 years ago, and I'm actually from the West End over in the Norwood area. It's where I raised my family. It's where I was raised. And then I was living over in the Denver area, and I was coming through Montrose on an insurance referral, actually, as my prior business was selling insurance. And I met the gentleman that I have been with since that time. Actually, yesterday was 6 years ago that I met him, but I moved to Montrose about 5.5 years ago.
Happy anniversary!
So, thank you, thank you. So I had no experience at all in the wellness industry as far as the business side of it. I've been self-employed and in the business industry for 30 years, but the wellness industry was new to me. I had had quite a few things happen in my life that I was a consumer to wellness. So a lot of things physically, emotionally, all the wellness things, right, that I had experienced. But it became an option when I moved here to buy an existing day spa that was already established and was already going in Montrose. And the lady that actually, she still works for me here at the day spa, was ready to sell, but she wanted to continue to work. So it was just a smooth transition. It made sense for me to buy an existing and kind of learn as I go. So bought that in January of 2020. And then we expanded it into a full-blown wellness center. So we've moved a couple of times. Actually, we've outgrown our space every time. We've got the privilege now to be in this amazing tower building, which
it's a good problem to have.
It's a very good, it's a very good problem to have. So I brought in quite a bit of advanced service type of services that were not in Montrose. Affiliated with a couple of doctors to offer hormone pelleting, Botox fillers, a lot of the more advanced body sculpting, that type of things, in addition to all of the basic day spa services. So it's just expanded greatly. I mean, we've grown by leaps and bounds, to say the least, since we purchased it. So I have learned alongside of the industry for Montrose, of what Montrose is needing, and kind of listen to our clientele to see what people are wanting to have here. And here we are, which is actually kind of the full expansion that we have now.
Yes, that's amazing. I can't tell you guys, this feels so nice. I feel like I'm on vacation right now. And these drinks are so great and healthy that you can have them in the middle of the afternoon and not have to say it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Right.
So how did you meet the right doctors and really started taking it up to the next level and doing things that require a license?
So part of it was my own doctor that I had been being seen for hormone hormone therapy, bioidentical hormone therapy, was actually in Ridgeway, and she had sold her practice here in Montrose several years prior and then had a non-compete, and so for Montrose for several years, so she was only seeing patients in Ridgeway. So when her non-compete was over, she needed a place to see her clientele in Montrose. So just through networking, obviously, and being a patient of hers as well, we talked about having a space that she could come once a week and see her Montrose clientele. So a lot of the stuff that we do on the wellness side has to do with sometimes hormone need or hormone changes, or if people have no idea that hormones affecting everything that it is. And it's usually, especially with women, of course, it usually has to do with weight gain. And so a lot of the services that we offer tie into that. But you can do all of the right things, and if your hormones are out of whack, that's just, you're just fighting a losing battle. So we partnered in that regard to where she would do the hormone work for our clientele, and then we would do more of the quote unquote superficial work, for the breaking down of the
Following up
yes,
the hormone work.
correct. So that was my partnership with her, that we've brought her in, and then we do a lot of work back and forth for her Ridgeway clinic as well. And then the doctor out of Grand Junction is a retired plastic surgeon that has just gone strictly into aesthetic services for the Botox and fillers and that kind of thing. So met her through networking as well, and she said, you know, I have a lot of clientele in the Montrose, Uray, Telluride, Ridgeway area, but I need a spot. So it all just kind of fell together, and it made sense because it's a lot of the same clientele, and it's one-stop shop, so people can come in and do all of that together. Yeah.
Yes, and now they can even have a drink. So while you wait for your services or after you're done with your services, you can enjoy this beautiful patio. And we got lucky because it was raining not too long ago.
I actually thought about that this morning. I was like, oh my gosh, we're going to have a mess at the patio. But
it was pouring. It was pouring, and now it's beautiful. It's sunny, and we're really lucky. It feels amazing out here. And so as you come, we're south of town. And then the building here is the Tower building, correct?
Correct. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we had one side of the building when we first moved in, and we're just going to do just our same basic services that we had over on our property at Woodgate. And one of the things, as I've traveled different places, and especially this last year, everywhere I went that had an outdoor patio, I love the vibe. I love how it feels. I love just how you can just relax and you're inside, but you're outside. And so I thought, okay, that's my next project. If I enjoy it, other people will enjoy it. So I like to kind of put those kind of things together. So I spoke with the management of the building and said, I have a thought. Can we maybe do something to expand out a little bit, and with a cocktail lounge? So last year we got our liquor license. And the reason we got it at the time was because we have a lot of requests for events, spa events. So it could be bachelor parties, bridal showers, just girls' night out, whatever it may be, where people would want to have alcohol. Mm-hmm. And just have more of that setting, and we couldn't sell it. So people would bring their own, and that was just a liability I wasn't really interested in taking on. So went through the process with the city to get our liquor license, and then it just made sense to okay, let's have that to where people can order whether they're there for a spa service or not. So the whole purpose of this now is a conscious cocktail lounge. So we have the signature menu of all of our conscious cocktails. And all that means is every therapist put together their favorite cocktail and made it a little bit of a healthier choice. So that's been fun too, because it's different than anything else in town. You don't come in and it's not a bar. I can't emphasize that enough. And then so many of our clients just want that, kind of that relaxation without alcohol. And that's where our mocktails come into play.
I know, and I haven't seen these in town anywhere. And I am a big advocate of having options when you don't want to drink, just so you can still have a drink just like everybody else. But you don't have to drink alcohol if you don't want to, and you still feel like you belong. So I really love that option. Also, something I did not know that you shared with me when I got here is that you can bring your own food. If you want to have lunch here, and as long as you order your drinks from the bar, you can bring your own food. Am I right?
Yep, absolutely. So we're actually encouraging that because we want people to have a place where they can come and be under cover if it's hot, or if it's, the weather's not good, and somewhere that we've got some great music that we always have going on, and sit outside. But you might need to bring, even if you brought your lunch to work with you, you don't necessarily have to go buy it somewhere, but if you do, you can get it to go and come over here. A lot of times we're hearing from people like, well, I like to grab a sandwich at Heidi's, and then someone will say, oh, I want to grab a bowl from Qdoba. We'll grab them and come over here and enjoy the patio. So it's open during our spa hours. It'll also be open later throughout the summer when we can get the staffing figured out for that. But yeah, we encourage everybody to come and enjoy the patio. We even have had people come by with their laptops and do some workout here, so it's just more of a lounge, just a decompression lounge. And I had a lady come in here the other day and she said, I don't want to eat, I don't want to drink, I'm putting in my headphones and I'm just going to chill. And perfect, that's what it's here for. So
awesome.
we want people to do that.
And so do you have Wi-Fi available?
We do.
Perfect.
Yes.
And what are your current hours?
So right now, 9 to 6, and I'm hoping, I hate to commit, but I'm hoping that by the middle of May, we'll have at least 3 nights a week that will be open until 8 or 9.
And
So
what would those be, you think? Like Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
probably, yeah, Thursday, Friday, Saturday seem to make the most sense.
Yeah.
But we do offer special events, and so like if people want to come in and they say, even if the spa's closed and they say we'd like the patio for after hours, we can absolutely accommodate that.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
And something else too we were talking about is that if you have a party and you need a space and you want an outside space, but if it rains, you have a little bit of protection and you have this assurance, Wendy can accommodate that. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely. And we're encouraging that, like people to come and use it because it is, I mean, it's pretty good size. I mean, obviously we're just in this section right now, but it will accommodate 30 people to sit in the patio area. And then we do have it open on both sides. So the fish and meat market is open and accessible on one side, and then Rio Bravo is accessible on the other side. And so you can, put chairs, anything like that for any type of event. But yeah, we want it to be used and we want people to come and enjoy it. So
That's great.
that can just be booked through the front desk.
Yeah, and so you mentioned your neighbors. Do you do any collaboration? Maybe like an oyster bar up front?
Actually, we've talked about that, and during our events, we absolutely are going to do that. We had our soft opening a few weeks ago, and the weather was terrible, so it just did not work out like we had hoped. But throughout the summer, Toby had talked about doing an oyster bar that or oyster shucking.
Yes.
Sorry, I don't know if that's the same thing or not. And then Rio Bravo, like chips and salsa on all the tables, and they've got their music going. Just so fun. It's just, I love outdoor anything, and when I drive by anywhere and I see patio lights, I'm just drawn to that. So we're hoping to have that same draw here.
Yes, and you have plenty of parking, so it's just easy access as well. So
yes.
I think it definitely works well. I was really pleasantly surprised. It's my first time here. I had seen the promotion for it, but I hadn't had a chance to be here, and I would strongly recommend you guys to come. This is so relaxing, just a great environment. And then let's talk a little bit more about your treatments. So tell me what you offer. Tell me, where should we start? How do we know? I know for me, I struggle because I get so tense that sometimes massages are hurtful and I'm not sure why. And so tell me more about how do we know what we need? Who do we talk to about that? And do you do consultations? All that good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do consultations on all of our services, and it can sometimes be done over the phone, and sometimes we need people to come in depending on what the service is. So we are a full day spa and wellness center as well as an advanced service spa. So we do everything from the toes to the top of the head, meaning from massage type standpoint, pain relief, that kind of thing, we have massage therapists that will customize the massage for you when you get here. We have a lot of times people will call and they'll say, I've got something going on with my neck, something like that, and then we know which therapist, if they need like a really deep, or they say I want it as intense as possible. We have a male therapist that's a lot stronger. We have plenty of clients that just say, you know what, I just want to relax. Well, then either of our therapists can accommodate that. Usually if it's a therapeutic type of thing, we have a couple of different options through red light therapy blankets as well as cryotherapy, those are both machine related. That is like hot cold therapy with a machine that can be targeted to the area that people are needing relief. So we have a lot of people who come down from the gym that whether they've injured themselves from a workout or they've had something just flaring up, headaches, that kind of stuff. So when any service is scheduled at the front desk, we ask, what are you wanting to be seen for? Is it just a day to relax, or do you have something going on? And then we can accommodate accordingly. Same thing with all of our skincare services. A lot of times people will come in and they are getting ready for an event, and so they want a specific type of facial, or maybe they want a spray tan because they've got an event coming up.
Amelia,
yeah. So if you've certain skin conditions, all of our estheticians are fantastic. Everybody is beyond certified and incredible with what they do. So if it's a person that's got a lot of issues, we may have one of our more experienced estheticians work with them. And we schedule accordingly. So we always give people the option, like, if it's a first time, they're not going to know what they need. And so most of the time, as consumers, we don't know what we need. We know what we want, but not necessarily what we need. So our menu is very, very broad. Everything is price based on time. So we can customize any service when you come in. So a person may say, I want a 60-minute facial, and they may have several issues going on, but until you meet with the esthetician, then it's determined like what products are used and what service is used, if it's going to be microneedling or microdermabrasion or dermaplaning or waxing or whatever. Once the person gets here, we customize, and that builds that therapist-consumer relationship as well. So everybody just kind of tells us what they're looking for, and then we give them our recommendation accordingly.
For hormone therapy, I'm curious because I think right now, whether it's on TikTok or on social media overall, we talk a lot about a hormone balancing. And so how do we, again, know what's the process? Do we do a consultation first, or how do we know that's even the problem, right?
Right, so we actually have an intake process, and one of the things that it asks is if you're currently being treated for hormone therapy. If that answer is yes, then that's usually, somebody's usually on top of whatever's going on with them. But if they're not, we give them a referral to the doctor. So at that point, then it's more of a handoff because we do not have doctors on staff. So it's a handoff to that doctor to contact them to work alongside of them. Then we do food sensitivity testing that we'll do along with the doctor, which all of that is done here. And we have a one of our therapists that is the main person that handles the food sensitivity. We do elimination diet, and all of that ties into the hormone balancing, because a lot of times people are eating foods that are not agreeing with them, and they don't even know that that's causing a problem. So then there's, weight gain or food intolerances that cause inflammation, those kind of things that you can be doing all the right things with supplements and hormone therapy and pelleting and all of that, but if your body's fighting through inflammation, you're not absorbing like you need to be
successful.
Right. So we really advocate all the way around for people to be looking at their holistic picture. So if for example, someone comes in and they want to do one of our weight loss treatments, what does that mean? They just want to come in and the weight's gone? That's not the case. So we start with food sensitivity testing, and then we do body contouring with the machines. But if there's a hormone gap in there, we're definitely encouraging people to talk to either their doctor or handing them off to our doctor that can handle hormone therapy of whatever kind. But
it's fascinating.
Yeah, there's so much to it. And what we find with people is they're like, everybody comes to any business, right, and wants the quick fix. And we're a very holistic organization that we have access to the whole approach. So we want people to look at the whole approach, because otherwise you're not going to be successful. We can work on you all day long with the machine, but if you've got something going on inside, or your body's fighting through foods, or your body's fighting through inflammation. Or we can make sure you get a great massage, but if you've got issues that are being, it could have something to do with lifestyle, that needs to be changed. We've got nutritionists on one of our therapists that does nutrition coaching. We even have a shaman that we work with for like emotional therapy and stuff. So we really try to be everything to everybody, which I know seems a little bit dramatic, but we really want to be able to. And if we can't provide it here, we have somebody that will. And a lot of times, we work with other places in town, like Soak, for example. They have a lot of services we don't have. So, a lot of times people need like cold plunge therapy and different things like that. We can't offer that, but if we know the value to that, and we'll send them to them. So we just want everybody to be able to live their best life and feel the best that they can.
And I cannot agree more with that. I think that local businesses should collaborate, even if it's in the same industry. Collaboration is key, especially if you're looking at what's best for your client. So I really love that concept. I think that's phenomenal. And talking about being our best selves, I think it's sometimes hard when we see people like you who achieve so much. So tell me about your books, because you're an author as well, right?
I am, and actually that is that's my passion. That truly is what I want to do when I grow up. So whenever that might be. But
you're doing it.
Yeah, I am. And I've written 2 books, and I have my 3rd in publication right now. I write for several different magazines, Montrose Living. I've been fortunate to contribute there as well. And a long time ago, so I say that my kids were in middle school, and I started journaling a lot through life changes, and I started journaling. And when I would read those back to myself, I was like, you know, there's so many other women that I know are dealing with these same things.
Same issues.
And so
Yeah.
I was on a flight when I worked through the insurance companies, and I sat next to a lady that said, have you ever thought about self-publishing a book? And I thought, oh my gosh, I have so much going on, I can't even imagine. And she put me in touch with a self-publication company. And they said, just send us your journals. Just send us, let us take a look, and we will tell you if it is something that is doable, if it's something that can be profitable, if it's something that is, you know,
Worth it.
yeah. So I thought, okay, what do I have to lose? So I sent my first set of journals in, and it was all about learning to balance home and career. So I was at that point in life, my kids were super busy. In middle school, I was running full-time business. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a boss, I'm a woman at this point in time in 30s. And I was like, I thought I had it all together. So let me write it all down.
Do
and
we
tell you.
ever?
Yeah, no, we don't. And so that's just not a thing.
It's
But
not a thing.
what I found through my journaling was all the things that helped me through. And so what I would do is I would write those things down in the journal. So the publication company got back to me and said, you know what, these journals are full of resources. They're all the things that have helped you situationally. And your patterns of writing have a lot to do with self-help, but it's self-help that's realistic. It's not these unrealistic things to do. And they're small, they're short, your emotion is in it. You talk about your kids, your family, your parents, your grandparents. You know, they said we want to publish it. So when my first book got published, I thought, okay, this is something that, number one, I thoroughly enjoy, and number two, I can help other people. Mm-hmm. So that one got published, went very, very well. And then when I hit midlife,
I like how you say
midlife
midlife with no age.
Yeah. So, same thing was happening. I was reaching out for resources. I had started through a divorce process. My kids were graduating from school. My parents were aging. My life had changed substantially. And so then I got very much into writing that same thing, women's resource book. So I wrote my second one, had it published. And now my third book that's in publication is our life under construction, basically, and all the challenges we face now at this point in life when, and again, resources, what has helped me through those things. I laugh a lot about, I can tell you what not to do a lot of times. So that has been my...
I can relate to that.
Yes, I think we all can, right? So, and then then that has been accompanied with speaking on different platforms. And it's always, you know, women in the workplace, young moms trying to do it all, trying to contribute to their household. So many women aren't in a position to help with feeling like they're contributing and understanding that contribution comes in so many
ways.
Forms. And so yeah, the writing and the speaking is definitely my passion, and that is where eventually most of my time will be spent. But in the meantime, I've been very blessed to be surrounded by incredible women that I've worked with over the years. My grandmothers, my mom, my daughters, my stepdaughter. I've just been so fortunate to have great women in my life, and anything I can help along the way for people that have done the same with me, that's where my heart's at. So
how do we find your books?
So have them here at the Day Spot, but they're also on Amazon. But they are just women's little self-help books. We actually will do a special for Mother's Day because they're great little gifts for women
that's a great
women
idea.
in your life. So moms, not just moms, but everybody that just wants a little pick-me-up once in a while. They're great for that.
Yeah, they're easy to read too.
Very easy read.
I haven't read all three, but I read the first. And
Okay.
Very easy to read. I was shocked because I'm not huge on reading. I usually do audiobooks.
Mm-hmm.
And Luke had brought it back home one day. And very easy to read. I really enjoyed it.
Oh,
so
thank you.
Yeah, and how do we contact you at the spa?
So the
Social
spa,
media?
social media, absolutely. Montrose Day Spa, MontroseDaySpa.com has all of our services. We have booking availability on there. Our phone number is 252-0381. Our number here. Have an incredible staff that can help with anything that needs to be done. So I am behind the scenes most of the time. I'm in the middle of it all when I need to be, but I'm only as good as the people around me, and I'm very fortunate to have a very good group to make this all work.
I love that you see it that way. I think that is so important. And we've covered a lot. So we'll put some more information in the comments later today. And we can't wait to see you here at the spa on the patio because I'm going to be hanging out here quite a bit.
It's amazing.
Wendy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So appreciate your time.
Thank you.
To everyone out there, thanks for watching. And if you liked it, don't forget to like, share, and tell your friends if they can use something like this. I think from the advice in the books and really who does not want a day at the spa. With Mother's Day around the corner, this is the best time to tell you more about what Wendy does and just come explore. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much.
Thank you.